page, Russian MI6 spy poisoned.
Yes, the newspapers, they're brave journalists. I tell you what, they're already starting to blame the Russians. Can I just make clear, Mr. Putin, Sally and I were both wearing red in solidarity with you. We didn't want to do this story.
Absolutely
We're being
not.
held hostage by the BBC, forced to do this story.
No, not at all.
I looked at Russia Today, because they're the mouthpiece of Vladimir Putin. See, how are they going to defend this? What's their explanation?
Are they even talking about it?
They talked about it, and then they said maybe they were taking some drugs, this couple who are now in hospital, because that's when you take your opioids at ZZ's on an afternoon. And then the other reason they had was, well, look, why would you kill a non-threat? It's obviously got nothing to do with Russia. I mean, things like revenge, you know, so un-Russian. So they were really scraping the bottom of the barrel. We don't actually know if the Russians are involved. We could be imagining it like election interference, for instance. It could just be somebody who decided to help Mr. Putin. But it looks pretty bad.
The broader question, which is something I put to our professor earlier in the programme, is what does this do to the already very difficult relations between the US, between Russia and the UK? Because as you've mentioned, there is this whole investigation going into the in the US into interference in their election. Yeah. Not least all the other issues, but there's very important matters like Syria, for example, where Russia's playing a big role.
It'll make no difference. This will
has wide implications, doesn't it?
If there is a connection found, or if it's found that there were certain drugs which could only have been sourced from Russia, there'll be some whinging from the Foreign Office, and it'll make no difference whatsoever. It is unfortunate. It begs the question, why did our security services not know more? The sad truth...
And why are these individuals not protected?
Why are they not protected? And the sad truth is, he was a British asset. If I can be patriotic for a moment, he was a British asset. He's in hospital. The sad truth is there's two people who are today hospitalised. We don't know if it's the Russians, but my God, there's a smoking gun. And why did they get away with it?
Just to say as well, of course, the investigation is underway. We don't know what the results or conclusions are of that. And actually, when I got dressed this morning, I had no idea what type Alpesh would be wearing.
You called me up and said, what are you wearing? Anyway.
And I didn't even think about this story either. But let's have a look now at the Japan Times. Thanks for coming in. It's good to have you on the